Well, I grew up, my dad got on a volunteer fire department when I was in kindergarten, so I grew up down at the station. If he were going on a call and I was with him, if he were watching me, I would sit at the station and watch the trucks go out and then wait for my mom to come pick me up. You know, so I grew up with all of that, and then I think the EMS part really got to me. The more I got involved with the fire, the more I wanted to get involved with EMS also. So, you know, it kind of started out, I think, as I want to be like Dad. The variety of the job, it's never the same, and it's always interesting. You're always learning something new, and you're always busy, and it's just a very intriguing job.
Well, when I was first in high school at 16, I took the EMT basic class. I went night classes over at the tech college just to see if it was something I was interested in, and going through the class I realized this is something I really like doing and I love doing. So at 17 I started volunteering on the local ambulance for our small town, and it's just something that kind of went on from there. My mom's a nurse, but I don't really have any family members that have a lot of fire background, so from EMS it kind of went on to, well, I like the fire part, and from there it kind of went to, this is something that I wanted to do as a full-time career that I really enjoyed, and I loved helping people and the variety in the job and being able to use your own mind and do the work that's needed. For a patient, you're dealing with them at the worst time in the moment in their lives at that time. It may not seem like an emergency to you, but to them, this is why they called you, because they need somebody to step in. They need an intervention for somebody to help them. So you have to always keep that in your mind and treat them with the utmost respect and compassion, and try and keep yourselves in their position, how they would want to be treated, or how you personally would want your grandmother to be treated. So in that sense, you know, you can always get every IV start right away. You can always do everything right, but you always have to keep in mind that this is an emergency to the patient, and you're treating the patient.
You know, if you're the doc on a call, you are controlling the scene, and you are talking to your patient, and you are talking to your crew. So you have to be able to, you know, tell your crew what you're thinking and what you would like them to do as far as procedures or an assessment, you know, yet you have to be talking to your patient, comforting them, getting to know what's wrong with them, and you have to be controlling the scene and be aware of what's around you, and is there any hazards, is there any clues as to what you can use. And then the same with a fire. You can't just focus on one thing in a fire. You have to be aware of your surroundings at all times and be able to deal with them very quick. You know, doing one thing and thinking about another is a very common part of the job. So.
Well, the job is obviously very physically demanding, and on my off days I do spend a lot of time running. I recently participated in the Eau Claire Half Marathon. And that's something that you just got to look for other motivations outside of work to keep yourself in shape, and doing weightlifting and different stretches and training, because the job itself you can easily get injured, you can easily have an accident. So you always have to be ready, and you always have to make sure that you keep yourself in shape, because not only are you looking out for yourself, but you're looking out for your coworkers too. In a fire scene, if they go down and they need you, they expect you to be ready, to be strong, and be able to pull them out if you have to. So it's not just yourself, you're looking out to be ready for your others also.
Then there's a lot of endurance stuff, you know, reloading the hose, or, you know, pulling a patient or holding a patient up, lifting a patient, anything like that. You know, you have to be able to do something quick and be strong, you know, right away, but yet you have to be able to make that strength last throughout the whole call. I'm at the gym every day on my day off, and between running and you know, the elliptical or lifting weights or anything like that. Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean that I can't do the job. Whether you're proving yourself to your instructors or you're proving yourself to your lieutenant or captain, I think it's the same for everyone, and they expect that out of, I mean, they expect the same thing from me that they expect out of a guy.
Not only are we doing firefighting and paramedic, we do water rescue, we do urban search and rescue, high angle rescue. You know, we go up and down the river. We do everything. It's a never-ending learning experience working for the fire service, because you always will learn something every day. You will always be more aware of how to handle a different situation or a different fire call. So you may think once you're done with school that, okay, I'm done, I'm ready just to work, but your learning never stops. Starting at a volunteer is the first step way to go. It gets you in the job and an understanding if this is something you're truly going to want to do, because it is a commitment to go through the school, to go through all the hoops to get to where you want to be.
You know, when you see all these guys and some of that stuff is coming so easy, and it's like, God, I wish I could lift that. You know, when you're really struggling for it. Or some of the mechanical stuff with it. I mean, that can be difficult also, but you learn and you put forth the effort. The EMS wise, you know, some of those tests and stuff that we were doing in class, trying to get through and learn it, and it's like, why can I not figure this out? This seems like such an easy concept. So yeah, there was definitely hurdles and going through both portions of it.
What's great is every day it's something different. You're not always coming into the same job. You're always going to have to make decisions, change your thinking, you know, think of how you're going to interact with this patient and give them the best possible care that you can. It's never the same. Every call will be different, every fire will be different, and that's what's great about your job, is that you always have to be on your toes, you always have to be on your game and expect everything.
So there's always training, and there's always, you know, the station life and the maintenance and keeping up on protocols and procedures, and I mean it's 10% the calls, and outside of that is much more also. So.